All right, with this sequence, it's going to be a little bit easier if you have a slider, but it's not going to be mandatory. I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch super band, so something smaller. The 1 inch is probably going to be a little bit much for what we're going to do, or if you've got the tubing and the handles, that'll work as well. So we're going to start out with really another version of a mobility component where we want to go ahead and get that shoulder blade really stretch that lat out, but then we also want to engage it. So 1/2 inch super band around the doorknob. Make sure you go around both ends of the doorknob so you don't pull it off. We're going to go down to probably half kneeling or quadruped position to be more supported. So with this, I'm just going to go right down through the center, flip over the top, and then my middle finger goes in between the two sides of the band and the rest of it goes on the outside. So what we're trying to do is avoid having to do a lot of hard gripping. So I'm just going to work my way back until I feel a pretty good stretch. So in quadruped here, I'm going to let that shoulder blade release, and we're going to hang out here about 10 to 15 seconds to kind of let everything calm down and stretch. So that initial window when you start stretching, the body's reaction is to contract. So that 30 seconds, 20 seconds everybody talks about is enough time to get past that system. All right, now that we've stretched it out, without bending your elbow, all you're going to do is work on gliding your scapula, your shoulder blade, down your back. So there are a couple ways to think of it. One, you can think of trying to slide your shoulder blade into your back pocket. Number two, you can think about creating as much distance between your shoulder and ear as possible. What we're going to avoid is pulling from the hand, so I'm not looking for any bend in the elbow. I just want to make sure we're sliding through the shoulder blade. So we're going to do 1 set of 10 each side. 1, 2, keep it at the shoulder blade, try not to move your trunk around. 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more, 8, 9, and 10. All right, swap sides. So hand through the center. Again, if you're using one of the tubes with a handle, just catch it in the palm of your hand or catch it in the wrist of your hand. All right, scoot back, find a nice stretch. So let's take our 15 seconds to go ahead and relax. Let that stretch out. Now the other cool thing is this technique, we're not only creating more mobility, but we're activating in this new lengthened position. So we're tapping into those mechanoreceptors that relay information about length and tension. And in this position, once we engage, we're kind of resetting that to a degree. It's not perfect, it doesn't mean you automatically hold it, but if you do this more frequently, you're more likely to maintain it. All right, sliding the shoulder blade down your back. Don't bend the elbow. Drive the shoulder away from your ear. Don't bend the elbow. 8 more. 3, 4. Try not to move through the trunk. There's a big tendency to want to laterally flex. 5. Let the movement be whatever it is as far as what you have through the shoulder blade. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so one of the reasons we did that was to prep you for the next move. So you're going to be down in basically kind of child's pose position, one hand on the slider or on your hardwood surface, sock, whatever it is you're going to use. Demo it this way. Other hand on the back of your head. And what I want you to do is reach as far as you can and then turn as far as you can and then come back. If you want to add something to this and you have the ability to anchor the band low, then you can have your hand in the band. So that same gliding that we were just doing, you can incorporate that with this as well. Just not having a bunch of equipment at home, I'm trying to simplify this. All right, 10 times. Reach and turn and come back. Get as much turn as you can possibly find. Think about driving that movement from your sternum. All right, reach the hand, turn the torso. 5, 6. Really reach that arm out. 7, you should feel a pretty big stretch in the lat of the arm that's reaching. 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. And if you start to feel any kind of pinching or binding in the front of your shoulder, simply take the arm out a little bit wider. You may be coming across the body. All right, other side. So we're going to reach and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze everything out of it you can. 5, on the way back, you can pull that shoulder blade down again if you want. Just practice that pattern. 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. All right, now you're gonna grab the whichever band you were using, so tubing or super band. And if you're using a super band, it's going to need to be the 1/2 inch versus the 1 inch. So we're going to take that prone W's concept and apply a little outward tension on the band so we get more activity going on in the shoulders. So lying down flat, the most important thing, I want you to keep your belly button drawn up off the floor. So there's a big tendency as soon as we engage the upper body to dump everything through the low back and we start crunching those facet joints. So what I want to do is draw my belly button up off the floor. I want to maintain that the whole time. So what we're going to do, 5 reps, take a quick little break, and then another 5 to get our 10, because I want you to reset every time and make sure that low back position is where it's supposed to be. All right, arms out in front. Draw the belly button up off the floor. Now keep in mind, this is flexing the hip to get the belly button off the floor. What I want you to do is draw in as if you were trying to scoot by something and you needed to make yourself skinny. So belly button in. Now we're going to bring the arms up, outward stretch on the band, and then 10 times. If you have the mobility, you can come down behind the head, but keep that outward tension, or you can stop at the head. 3, 2 more, 4, and 5, and then reset. Think about your position in the water. We don't want to get into a big low back curve and it's going to drop the hips down and just completely kill your position. So that's one reason I'm breaking these into 2 sets of 5, or 2 groups of 5. All right, draw the belly button up, outward tension on the band, keep that outward tension, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so if you need the instruction, rewind the video, start it over and go back through it. Or if you remember the movements, go through this 2 more times.